So is this kind of your Nashville coming out? You've done a lot of promo on the tour, but is this sort of like your first big Nashville industry event that you did?
Well, I was here for the CMAs,
Okay.
so I guess it's like the second, because during the CMAs we did a whole bunch of media and press and did the rounds kind of back then. This time I'm more involved. Like I performed today, obviously, and it's kind of like a different. Like last time I came in as new, and I'm still new, but now I have music under my belt, my own artistry underneath my belt that I'm able to show people now.
Yeah. And when you were up there, you talking to the radio programmers, you emphasized the fact that I chose country.
Yeah.
Is that because you feel that like there might be suspicion of somebody coming in that, well, because there have been artists who've kind of like come in later in their careers into country and sort of had it as a second choice or whatever.
Well, yeah, country music is different than most different formats of music. With other formats of music, they just send out the songs and they add it to the radio station. But coming out over here to country, it's you have to earn your you earn your dues, so to speak, or earn your right to be here. And I think it's very important. It's kind of neat because at first when I started, I was initially scared. And I was like, man, how are these people going to receive me? It's my choice, but they can think all they want to think. They don't have to add my music to their playlist, so to speak. And so but my experience has been totally different. I mean, they have welcomed me with open arms, and I've been building relationships, and I would have it no other way. I really like being able to share my story. I like being able to share, different points about myself. And I'm able to do that with them, and then they'll put me on the radio, and I'll do it with the listeners. Listeners can call in. It's really built a connection that wouldn't have been there if I haven't done this promotional tour.
Yeah.
So it works in favor. I mean, I haven't seen all the stations yet, but the stations that we've been to has been a home run, and they've been great. It's really it's building a family. It's hard to explain because I didn't know what I didn't know what to think about it going in there, and now I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's the format where everybody in the whole format wants to feel that connection with the artist, and that involves a lot of work.
But I think that's what makes it so successful, and that's what I wanted. I didn't know much about music, period. Before coming into the industry, I don't care what format it was, and now that I see this inside view for the first time, because all I did before was I liked to sing, and I would just sing. I didn't study the industry, I didn't study anything, and now seeing the inside view, I appreciate the way country has set up their format. Because there's a connection made, and now that I think back, I see why country artists have long careers. Because there is something there's actually something tangible that the fans and the artists have together.
Yeah. In terms of country artists coming out of Idol, there's been a pretty good groundwork laid, obviously, with Carrie and Kelly. But those are artists who, arguably, it was kind of clear what they were on the show in terms of going into the genre. It wasn't always clear that you would do this, but everybody remembers Randy Travis telling you that you should do country. And was there a moment? Do you feel like it was clear for you all along, or was there a moment where it kind of crystallized?
I'm not going to say it was clear for me the whole time. I mean, I would like to say that and make it look all better than. But I mean, I was a guy who just was surrounded in gospel music, and I knew I didn't want to do that anymore. So Idol became a crash course, and I respected that they had us try out different genres each night, because I think that's the whole point. That's the reason why they do it, is because they see, well, where do you fit, and just before Randy Travis was on, I had the ability to, I covered Leanne Womack's I Hope You Dance, and then when he came on, I did Carrie Underwood's, and because country was very large, and very influential for me when I was young. My dad was a big fan. But he wasn't just a fan of country; he was a fan of Motown too. I was submerged in music, but I always went back. We did, what was it, the Idol week where we did, they let us pick any song we wanted to pick. Well, I picked Rascal Flatts. What Hurts the Most. Yeah. And it's just something that I always connected to. And finally coming out, I was like, man, this is where I like talking about. I like talking about real stories and real things, and my life is a story. And I said, this is where I want to be. This is where I fit. I like it here. And, I guess for me, it's like, would they, the question was, would they accept me? That's what, as an artist, you always, question that, you become vulnerable. And it's like, I want people to accept it. But when Randy Travis said that comment, I was blown away. Because I knew I was soulful. That's not, I don't hide it, and And he said, listen, they will love you, and the amount of passion and soul you bring, they would embrace you. And I just said, wow, it just made me feel good and say, okay, well, then, if he says I can do it, I know I can do it then. Because he's lived this thing for the last, 20 years, 30 years? I mean, he's been around for a long time.